well as our group punch option. And our group punch option is similar to the kiosk mode, or maybe just employees using a PIN number to punch. So up top we can see here I have place finger on reader. So if I place my finger, I can see that I am immediately brought into the punch page for the employee. And then as well for this group punch option, we can see on this page, I have the enter employee number. So I can just enter that number, hit next, and I can go ahead and punch from here as the employee. And you can do this not only on a computer, you can also do this on a tablet as well. So here I have my test device. So this is the group punch mode that you would see on the app. So again, you can just go ahead, enter this employee number. The employee would hit next. And then it would automatically open up the account for them to go ahead and punch in for the day. So let's go ahead and get started and show you how to set these up. We will get started with group punch first. So I am on the OnTheClock website and I am logged into my admin account. So what you can do once you get logged in, you can actually just go to this time clock settings option right here, or you can also go to the settings icon up top and choose time clock settings on the drop down menu. So you'll notice here we have to the right a employee punch site. So this is a tab that you're going to want to choose, and you'll notice that we have group punch settings right here. So you might see this already set to off. So you'll just come in, you'll want to turn this to on, and then you'll click register. So you're going to register the device that you want employees to use for punching. So for example, on the computer right now, if I want this particular computer to be the computer that I want employees to use, then I'm going to go ahead and register it this way. And then this would also include things like if you want employees to be able to use different browsers as well. So right now I'm on Chrome. I would want to log into my admin account on maybe a Microsoft Edge web browser and then register that web browser as well. That way my employees would have the option for group punch mode. So once I click register, you will see a success message telling me that it has been successfully registered. So I'll just go ahead and press save settings. And then once I log out of my account, you're going to see this group punch icon. So this is the page that your employees will see on the group punch page. And again, all they're going to do is just simply punch that employee number. So we can see here my Bryn H employee, their profile has been brought up, so I can go ahead and punch in as the employee now. And that's it, really simple and easy. And then it's gonna go ahead and reset in a few seconds back to that initial group punch page. And now another employee can come in and they can punch for the day. So again, this is perfect if you have employees that have pins that you are basically looking for them to just enter that number. If you have a bunch of employees that need to punch in really quickly at one time, this is the route to go for that. So by default, we will assign an employee number to the employee profiles. And if you have specified something different inside of their profile, then that is the number that they would use to punch in. So if you do want to change that number to be something different, just come into the employee profile, and where we see this employee number section right here, this is where you can update that number to be different than that default. So again, you can do just anything from 1 digit all the way up to as many digits as needed. If you are using our app or your employees are using our mobile app, right here I have a app simulator. So I will show you how to set this up through the app as well. So under more, you're going to see that we have a group punch icon, but before this group punch icon is visible, you will need to register this device. So you'll just go ahead and click on this launch in browser. It's going to take you directly into your admin account in OnTheClock.com, and then just choose time clock settings. We're going to choose the employee punch site tab, so this very last option right here with the employee icon. So from earlier, we can see that it is set to on. So we just need to click this register button. Once you click this register button, you will see the success message that's going to pop up. And then you do have the option to see that group punch icon inside of the app. So inside of the app, just go ahead and refresh it if you have to, maybe close out of it and reopen it. You're going to see this group punch mode icon. So I am logged in currently as an admin. So I'll just go ahead and click on the group punch icon. I'm going to confirm, So just something to note that you do have to be logged into the app as an admin, and once you go into group punch mode, you will have to enter your admin password to exit. So employees won't have the ability to access your admin account unless they have that password. So we'll go ahead and confirm that we want to enter group punch mode, and let's go ahead and enter those employee numbers. So I entered my employee number, and I can go ahead and punch in for my Brent H employee. And then I will go ahead and punch one more time for that test employee. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the punch, and we're all set. So this is a really great way if you do have multiple employees that you are trying to have punch in very quickly all at once, and if you just want them using, again, that employee PIN number, that's a great option to go ahead and set this up. So like I mentioned before, if you do need to exit, it's going to just prompt for that admin password. And once I have entered the administrative password, it now has allowed me to go back into my admin profile in my account. So this is how you would go about setting up group punch mode on your website, computer, or on the app. So again, if you are having employees using a tablet or a phone for punching in and out, maybe you don't want them using the app, you want them using a mobile web browser, there is the option to, again, just simply have them use that mobile browser instead. So we do have this launch in browser option. All you would need to simply do, again, is just go to this time clock settings, choose that employee icon, let the system know that you are looking to register this device. And then once you log out of the account here, you're going to see this group punch icon. So this is me on a mobile web browser. So there's a couple different avenues that employees can take to access, or you can have your employees use to access this, whether it be on a computer, tablet, phone, and if you want them using the app or not. So let's go ahead and talk about our fingerprint reading option now. So there is, for the fingerprint reader, a little bit of a setup process. You will have to download the software to your computer, and I'll get into that a little bit more later on down the road, but I just want to show you how you would get employees set up in using this. So I have already gone through the steps to download that software, and I have the fingerprint reader punch icon right here on my desktop. So when I click this, it's just going to go ahead, it's going to pull this little taskbar up here, and you will see we have the option for close, reset, as well as settings. So if I click on settings, it's just going to go ahead and prompt me for my password. And this is my admin password, so I'm going to go ahead and log in. And it will ask you for some account information to be able to pull your employee list. So all of your employees you will be able to see here. So all you have to do is just double click on employee, and then you will have some options to add or remove fingerprints, as well as turning on and off the fingerprint option. So for those employees that do need fingerprints registered, so if I click on my test employee, for example, I can see I have 0 fingerprints on file. So I'm just going to click on this add a fingerprint button for the employee. And I'm placing my finger on the fingerprint reader. For good measures, we have the fingerprint be registered twice. So we'll go ahead and we will add one more finger. We do recommend that you do one finger on each hand for the employees, just in case if they have a cut or something. That way they have 2 fingerprints on file that they could use for punching in and out, and that won't disrupt the process for them. So now I have registered 2 fingerprints, and I'm going to go ahead and hit done. And I can see again that did go through successfully. So I'm just going to go ahead and exit out here. And as the employee, I can go ahead and place the fingerprint on the reader. And it does say that I was found with 100% accuracy. And it's just going to go ahead and pull up the punch site right here for me. So we do have a couple of different options that this can open up in. So you will notice that this did open up in Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is only going to be supported for a little bit longer. We do have a couple of options though to get this to pull up a little bit differently and not just in Internet Explorer. So let me just go ahead, log into the account settings here. So you're going to notice here under settings, we have browser. So if you have it set to external, this is where it will open up in Internet Explorer. Again, this is only going to be supported for a shorter period of time. So we'll just go ahead and we're going to choose this to internal, and then we're going to choose save settings. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my finger on that fingerprint reader again. And we can notice that this did open up a little bit differently now. So again, this employee can go ahead and punch in and punch out, and success. So really simple and easy to get this going for your employees. Again, this is a biometric fingerprint reader for employees to use when punching in and out. So it does give you that peace of mind if you are looking to make sure that employees who are punching are who they say they are with 100% certainty. Just a few more settings I want to touch on really briefly with you here for the fingerprint reader. So under settings, we do have as well, besides the account key and the browser type that the fingerprint punch site's going to open up in, we also have a fingerprint sensitivity option. So we do have normal, medium, and high. So this is just telling you, whatever you think is most compatible, you can put this again if you wanted to use high. This means that if you do have employees that are regularly using this, or if you have, mismatched employees, that you are going to have a very high sensitivity, making sure that you are getting the utmost secure and accurate employee fingerprint reading. So totally up to you if you want to use normal, medium, or high for that sensitivity reading. And then as well, coming into the employee profiles here, maybe you don't want a employee to have the fingerprint option turned on, then you can just click on that name and click on this turn off option right here and hit done. And now we have successfully turned off the fingerprint option for this employee. So even though they didn't have any fingerprints registered, again, they would have to have a fingerprint registered to be able to use the fingerprint option. So if you do happen to have maybe this test employee, for example, I want to go ahead and turn it off just for the time being. Since I have turned it off, it still keeps their fingerprints on file, so it won't remove them. So if I do need to come back at a later time and turn it on for them, I can do so. And then if you do happen to have any employees that leave you and maybe you want to delete all of the fingerprints that are on file, we do have an option to remove those fingerprints as well. So it's super simple to do that. So I'm going to touch base on some of those setup components for the fingerprint reader, and again, that software download that I was mentioning earlier. So inside of OnTheClock, we do have a help directory, and we have some help articles surrounding the fingerprint reader. So if you were looking just for the software download, then if you click on this page right here, it's going to take you directly into that download. So all you need to do is just click on this OTC fingerprint reader quick install guide, as well as the fingerprint reader software. So this is going to give you the download itself, and this is going to give you the guide for directions on setting this up. You will need to be the admin of your computer, of the account that the computer is being used, because it is going to ask for, again, download permissions for this. And then for this all about fingerprint reader section, so this is just a little bit more info about the fingerprint reader that we do support and that we are compatible with, and those requirements needed. So we are compatible with the URU 4500 digital persona reader. And to get this to work, you are going to need a computer or a tablet with a Windows operating system that has a USB Type A port. So the fingerprint reader does have a USB plug-in that you just take and you plug it into the device that's being used, and that is how the system configures and reads those employee fingerprints. So if you are looking at this fingerprint reading option, we do have a couple of cost breakdowns and just, where you can go to purchase. So we do have the pricing listed here. So it would be an additional 50 cents per employee per month on top of our employee pricing already. So again, our per employee pricing does start at a minimum of $3 per employee. And again, depending on that pricing tier that you fall into, just add that 50 cents to that per employee pricing. And then for purchasing the reader, we do have a couple of sources that you can go. So we have a couple of different places you can click on to purchase. We have seen the reader at roughly about $100 itself. It could be anywhere from maybe even $80 to a little bit more expensive. It just depends on where you go to purchase it. And then we also have down here below the installation and setup. So we do have some really helpful guides and instructions on getting this to your account if you do need additional help along the way with this. We also have some really helpful videos too, and this is just a quick peek at what it looks like. So this is on the fingerprint reader help page. So this is just a test employee using the reader, putting their finger on the reader, and then punching in for the day. So that's how that would look from the employee perspective on a computer. And then we also have a FAQ section, so if you do have any questions, we do have a commonly asked section for that. And then anything regarding maintenance and care and just troubleshooting with the fingerprint reader, we have that here for you too. And then once you have completed the steps of finding the URU 4500 fingerprint reader, you've purchased it and you've downloaded the software. Now, once you are ready to go ahead and set this up for your employees, as I mentioned earlier, how it syncs to your OnTheClock account is through a specific OnTheClock account key. So to find that, I'm just again logged into my administrative OnTheClock account. You'll go to settings and then time clock settings. So in here, you'll find the account key listed. So this is the account key that you are going to use to enter into that section that I had talked about before. So this is where this account key will be entered. And that will conclude everything about the employee fingerprint reader as well as our group punch mode. We will go ahead and open up the floor for some questions. For attending, we're super happy that you guys showed up, and be on the lookout. We always do monthly webinars, so we will be sure to get our webinars page updated for you guys so you can stay on the loop in those, okay? All right, thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful day.